Hello, lovely to see you again today. It's actually quite a lovely thing to reflect back to our last Tai Chi session. How did you feel after our last session? Were there any aches or pains? We have this lovely thing called a 2-hour pain rule. If you felt like you had done some exercise up to 2 hours after our last session, then that's okay. But if the next day after Tai Chi you woke up and you felt like your muscles had worked a lot and you were a bit achy and paining from Tai Chi, that's okay. But it just means to back off a little bit with our Tai Chi today, because we don't want to actually overwork where our body is in pain after Tai Chi. It's very counterintuitive. So it's always a really good guide. Check in 2 hours after our session and just notice how the body's feeling. And that will give you a guide whether you do the whole session in standing, or perhaps you start the session in standing and have some of the session in seated. So do what you need to do, but it is really lovely to have a bit of a guide. Another thing that is useful to contemplate is you might be looking at these sessions on an iPhone or an iPad or a computer. So the position of where your device is really quite important. We want our head to be upright. So if you put your iPhone or your device down low, so you're always crinking your neck to be able to see, then please find another place for your device up higher so you're looking at eye level. That will really protect your neck. Because if you're focusing for half an hour looking down, that's going to create some aches and pains. So that's an important thing to contemplate where you put your device. Today we're going to be exploring how do I do these warm-ups in the seated position safely. So that's something we'll start to explore together. And then we'll go back to our old friend, the open and close movement we learned last time. But this time we'll explore a little bit about what happens to our weight as we breathe in and what happens to our weight on our feet as we breathe out. So I look forward to sharing with you more today. Terrific. Turning the neck to the right. Again, about 70% of our capacity. And coming back. One palm faces down, one palm comes up. This time, the hand that's on the knee, if we want to engage the lower limb, we gently press down through that foot, down through the foot very gently as we turn. So gently pushing through the heel and coming back. Now one palm goes down, one palm comes up. So now the hand that's on the knee, we gently push down through that heel as we turn the opposite direction. You might notice your stomach and your back, all those core muscles start to work. Well done. One palm down, one palm up. So again, if you like, gently push through the heel of the foot with the hand on the knee. Coming back. Changing over. So the hand on the knee, that's the heel. We gently push through. Well done. And back. Okay, let's move into the shoulders. So we roll the shoulders forward. Forward. Just allowing the arms to hang beside us. Good. Very small, very conscious movement. And then rolling the shoulders backwards. Loosening up. Oh, that feels good. Mine creak and crunch. I don't know what yours do. Okay, the next one for the shoulders, we start with the palms up, just resting on the lap and feeling the roundness of the ball. We only move up to about our shoulder height and then pushing down, and we can have a little rest. And let's try that again. So we breathe in as we gather. breathing out as we push down. Have a rest. Good. Breathing in. Gather. And breathing out. Having a rest. Well done. So from the shoulders into the spine, let's hold the ball. So the top hand's in front of the heart and the other hand's just below the belly button at Dantian. So when I turn my nose and navel, see how my hands only move to the leg. So if we notice the hand is past the leg, I've turned too far. It's a very small turn just to the leg. Then I roll the ball over. Good, I turn the nose and navel. And again, the hands are just over the leg and roll the ball. If you'd like to engage the lower limb, we can push down through that leg. So as I move to the left, I'm pushing through the right. Good. Roll the ball. As I'm moving towards the right, I'm pushing through the left. That's it, just from leg to leg. Roll the ball, or we can just focus on the upper body. That's quite okay as well. Roll. And turn. And roll. Going back to our center. The next one, heaven and earth. So the bottom hand moves up. The lovely block from the top hand holds up the heavens and the bottom hand touches the earth. We change over, holding our ball in our center. So now the bottom hand comes up the inside. You can feel that martial arts block as one hand pushes up if that's comfortable, the other hand stretches down, keeping a little bend in your elbows. Well done. And change. And lengthening the spine, feeling the top of the spine pulling up and the base of the spine pushing down. Change. And lengthening the spine up and down. Wonderful. Okay. And relax, shaking out. So from there we move into our hips. We could actually start to stand and do the lower limb standing, but let's see and explore how would it feel to do the whole warm-up seated. So arms float up, and then as the hand comes down, we simply pull one leg up and we push that same foot into the earth gently as the arms rise. We'll do 3 one side, 3 the other. So as the hands come down, it pulls the foot off the ground, and then I push the foot into the earth, which helps the arms float up. And last one on this side, hands pull the knee up and pushing down into the earth. Again, always doing what feels right for you. Other side, as the hand comes down, the other leg comes up. Pushing gently down through the earth. Arms float up. Good. Remembering to breathe in. Remembering to breathe out comfortably and naturally. Last one. Knee up. And arms float up. Well done. Okay, let's move straight into the second one. For the hip, when we're standing, it's stepping to the side, but most people feel a bit uncomfortable doing that in the seated. So we're going to simply push gently down through the heel of one side. So as I push one hand forward, palm away, other hand underneath, I gently push through the opposite heel. Good. I like to come back and hold the ball so I'm nice and balanced. Other side, so I'm pushing against the wall that's lower than my shoulder and gently push down through the opposite heel. You might feel your stomach and your back working again. So a reminder, the top hand is definitely lower than your shoulder. And we can see in the seated position, it doesn't go past my knee or my leg. And I gently push in the opposite foot. Good, and change. So pushing in the opposite foot to the direction my arms are moving. Let's try one more, either side, with our breath in. Well done. And relax. I'll invite you to move a little bit further to the back of the chair if that's comfortable. We'll move into the knees. We've got very loose fists. And let's stretch our left hand forward and the opposite foot kicks straight ahead. Hand and foot moving back. Other side, opposite arm, opposite foot. Let's point the toe first of all. Good, still sitting on our sit bones. Opposite hand, opposite foot. And change. Stretching. This time I'll invite you to push your heel forward so you can feel that lovely stretch of the calf. Again, only to where you start to feel the stretch. We never go to the full range of movement in Tai Chi. That's where injury occurs. Let's do one more, pushing our heel gently forward just till you start to feel the stretch. And relax, final one. Start to feel the stretch. And relax, well done. Okay, moving down into the ankles, toes up, toes down, hands wherever they're comfortable, heel and toe. You might like to do it in the air, or some people feel more comfortable with the heel on the ground, tapping on the toe, tapping on the ground, or in the air. Good. Changing over either in the air, toes and heel, or on the ground, heel, tapping the toe. Whatever feels right for you in your body to do. Great. The next one for the ankle, I like to put my hand on my knee to remind me, don't move my knee, but you can put the heel on the ground and just move the ankle side to side, keeping the knees steady. That's one way. Or we can take the foot off the ground and it's like we draw a smile with our big toe, but we are not moving our knee, we're isolating the ankle joint. Terrific. Okay. Changing over, so either the foot on the ground, side to side, moving the knee, or in the air. Again, whatever feels best for your body today. Well done. Stretching hands and relax. Breathing in and out. Open and close. Shaking out. Very good. Let's move into our form. So we know this form starts with our feet together. Standing tall, but not stiff. Okay. Focus. Let's begin. Weight into your right foot. We separate the left foot out, touch down, and then consciously shift our weight. If I sink my shoulders, the hands float up, palms opposite each other. And as I bend my knees, I bend my elbows, fingers face the sky. We take 3 breaths in and out. Bringing the breath down to the belly and out. And if you like, you can engage the pelvic floors. Breathing in. The last one is when we gently contract the pelvic floors. Pass the ball forward. Close the form, standing up, feet together, and relax. So that's basically what we did yesterday. So what I want us to do is to subtly feel that weight shift from side to side. So we do know the cloud hands eventually is to the left, So we do need to end up with the weight on the right. So we gently shift the weight to the left and then the weight to the right. We'll shift the weight to the left, weight to the right, and weight to the left and to the right, because then when we do our waving hands in the clouds, we've got the weight in the correct side. So let's try that from the beginning. It's very subtle, but as I said, if you need to overdo it a bit just to really feel that, that's okay. And then we can sort of back it off a little. Rightio. Standing tall, relaxing the abdomen so we can bring the breath down into the belly. Like this. Let's begin. Weighting to your right. Separate feet shoulder width, feet parallel. And arms float up. Fingers face the sky. Very subtle weight shift left. I'll try to be a mirror. Very subtle weight shift right. Subtle weight shift left as we breathe in. And weight shift right as we breathe out. Weight shift left. And right. And if we're going to continue on, we're in the correct weighted leg. But we're going to close the form, pass the ball forward, and close the form. Breathe in, feet together, breathe out, and relax. Let's go through what we've learned so far, which is the open and close, repeating 3 times. You can focus on that very small weight shift if you like, we did yesterday, or the pelvic floors, or whatever you've really been working with. So, standing tall, feeling that beautiful double stretch of the body. The top of the head is pulling up to the heavens, but the feet are pulling down into the earth. Relax the abdomen so we can bring the breath down towards Dantian. And let's begin. Separating your left foot out to the side, touch down, and then we shift our weight. Sink your shoulders, that's what brings the arms up. The fingers face the sky. Taking 3 breaths in and out. Gentle contraction of the pelvic floors as we breathe out. In and out, shifting the weight gently from foot to foot. But on the outside, people can't see this. It's such a subtle weight shift. Pass the ball forward, hands are opposite. And lower, down, breathing in, feet together, breathing out, and relax. So yesterday we talked about there is a very subtle weight shift from leg to leg as we open and close, and what direction do we shift the weight? It depends on the next movement and where I need my weight to be. The next movement is waving hands in the clouds to the left, so we actually need our weight to be in our right leg. So in this particular instance, we shift our weight to the left leg subtly and back to the right leg subtly. To the left leg subtly and back to the right leg subtly. To the left leg. So we end up, as we shift the weight to the left, it all flows straight into the next action, which is cloud hands, which we'll learn next time. So that's step 1, is that very subtle weight shift. But step 2, when we were doing our waving hands in the clouds a few weeks ago, we imagined the figure 8 on the side, lying on the side, which is actually the sign of infinity. Imagine there's a figure 8 around your feet, and as we're open and closing, in fact, we can move just Dantian. It's the subtlest movement, but we can move in that figure 8 as we're doing the open and close movement. But it's such a small internal figure 8. On the outside, people will have no idea what you're doing. So it's not like the hula hoop sort of concepts. But sometimes when we're learning something new, we do need to do a really big figure 8 to sort of get our head around it. And then we bring it smaller and smaller until it's nearly just an imagining in Dantian is doing that figure 8. So let's give it a whirl. So the first step is even just imagine that figure 8, you know, as though the figure 8 is lying on the floor, sort of between your feet, if you like. Okay, so let's, just checking the time. All right. Okay, so focus, body upright. Fingers, the side, the legs there, your lovely gallbladder meridian. Relax the belly. Tongues on the top palate helps just to relax our jaw. And let's begin separating our feet out to the side and adjust. Arms up. Holding our ball. So just imagine that figure 8 up, around, and up the other side. So it's just imagine that movement as we breathe in, as we breathe out. Good. That's the third one. So we pass the ball forward and close the palm together. It does help if you really slow that movement down, because all of a sudden you've got so much to do in just one breath in and one breath out. So you can sort of reverse engineer it. With the breath in, you sort of need to be able to do half of the figure 8. So with the breath out, you can do the other half of the figure 8. Does that make sense? That, you know, it's sort of 50-50. So let's try that again. And again, it might just be that it's a thought initially to drop into the body, and then over time we can really explore it in the body. But if this is a new idea for you, this will be a little bit tricky to embody initially. But let's just start thinking about it. Okay, feet together. Focus. Just softening our gaze. Just helps all the muscles, the circular muscles around the eyes. Tai Chi for rehab. Let's begin. Separating our feet and adjust. Arms up. And fingers face the sky. So in our breath in, we need to go around half of the figure 8 and the breath out the other half. So the breath in around half the figure 8, the breath out around the other. The breath in and breath out. Fantastic. Pass the ball forward. I can feel your focus from here. It's terrific. Arms lower down. Breathing in. Feet. But let's begin our cool downs together. So hands dropping onto the leg. Dropping down. Dropping down. So it is a bit of a leg massage because we have been using our legs by pushing gently through the floor with our heels. Now, stretching the fingers, stretching the toes, and relax. Breathing in, stretching, and relax. Stretching, release. One more. Stretch, and relax. Okay, hands resting on the knees, gathering the chi or gathering our breath in and our breath out. Let's take a little rest in between. And again. Feeling the lovely roundness of the ball in front. And then pushing down. Last one. Well done. Okay. Let's wash our chi while we're sitting here. Our hands are dantian. Hands coming up the body. Over the top. Down the neck. Down the center. Around the stomach. If it's comfortable to go down the kidneys. Try to keep the spine upright down the outside of the legs and coming up. The legs coming back, just taking a breath at dantian. And again, arms up the front, over the top. Down, around, and down the side of the legs. Trying to keep the spine upright. Good, up the front. And taking a breath. Third time. Up. Move the top. Around. Outside. And up. The inside. Just taking a breath. Okay. I'll invite you just to take a comfortable seat. You might need to lean against the back of the chair. And I would like us to do a very short sit together. We've been focusing on sitting. So you're welcome to close your eyes, or if not, just gaze down at the floor because it's not very stimulating. And as we're still in the sitting posture, let's find all the parts of the body that have contact with them. Feeling the legs touching the chair. Can you feel the weight going down to the heaviness of the thighs making contact with the chair? Feeling the feet touching the earth. Perhaps it feels like there's a little bit of weight there as well. Maybe your back is touching the back of the chair. If there is, there might be a bit of pressure there. Is there even pressure on the right and the left side, or more one side or the other? Just noticing the feeling of the arms on the lap or at dantian, whatever's comfortable for your hands to rest easily. I want us to become aware that we're simply sitting on the chair. There's no effort in sitting on the chair. The chair is being supported by the earth. So the chair supports us. Just allowing that support. Good. Feeling at ease in this posture. I invite you to take 3 breaths in and out, just with your awareness. So it's not changing the breath or controlling the breath. Simply watching the breath, noticing when you're breathing in and noticing when you're breathing out. Noticing either the belly expand or the chest expand. Or perhaps there's another part of the body that moves with the in-breath. Noticing what moves in the body with the out-breath. The last breath in and out. Okay. If your eyes are closed, I'll invite you to open your eyes again. Coming out of our very short sit. Changing our posture, having a break. Thank you so much for your time and energy playing Tai Chi with me in my lounge room with my dogs today and inviting me into your home. As we begin our session, let's end with our Tai Chi salute. Be well, and I'll see you next session. Thank you.